New York is sinking. NASA's secret forecast for 2035. Investigative report. By Special Correspondent for the independent news agency Open Truth. Intro. When a city turns into Atlantis 2.0. It may sound like a scene from a disaster movie, but mounting evidence suggests that New York City, the city that never sleeps, might soon fall silent forever. According to insider information leaked to our newsroom, NASA prepared a classified report back in 2022 predicting that New York could be partially underwater by the year 2035. The document was never intended for the public. Marked strictly confidential, it was reserved for top military and government officials. But as often happens with secrets too big to hide, the truth has a way of leaking out. The whistleblower, the man who broke the silence. We spoke with a man who claims to have worked as a scientific advisor for NASA's Isaline Initiative, a specialized climate modeling project that analyzes ocean rise based on satellite data, tectonic movement, and Arctic feedback loops. They've known for years, knew it with certainty, but they were afraid of the public reaction. The report was supposed to trigger a national strategy for mass evacuation. Instead, they buried it. Too expensive, too soon, too dangerous for the economy. We're protecting our source's identity for his safety. He provided 3 excerpts from the report: a flooding map of New York, sea level rise predictions, and a list of recommended emergency actions. Maps of the future. Which parts of NYC will drown? According to the leaked NASA report, a combination of accelerating Antarctic melt, shifts in the Gulf Stream, and increased seismic activity in the Atlantic could push sea levels 1.8 to 2.2 meters higher along the U.S. East Coast by 2035. Projected outcomes include Lower Manhattan, everything below Canal Street submerged. Brooklyn, flooding deep into Crown Heights. Queens, LaGuardia Airport and surrounding neighborhoods under threat. NYC subway, near total shutdown due to saltwater intrusion. Newark and Jersey City, economic centers uninhabitable. The report also predicts up to 6 million climate refugees relocating inland to Pennsylvania, Ohio, and even parts of Canada. Why is this being hidden? In 2023, New York City government launched Strong Shores, a coastal fortification program including seawalls and flood barriers. Officially, it was presented as hurricane preparation. But we obtained an internal memo from the city's Office of Emergency Management, dated June 2023. We cannot publicly state this is about sea level rise. That would cause unnecessary panic. Let the public think we're just preparing for storms. So, is the government deliberately hiding the real threat? The elite are already moving. We found evidence that ultra-wealthy individuals have begun buying land in higher elevation areas across Vermont, the Carolinas, and the Appalachian Mountains. Property sales in these regions surged from 2023 to 2025. Do they know something we don't? Or rather, something we're not supposed to know? Domino effect. What happens next? New York is just the beginning. NASA's projections suggest a global chain reaction. Miami, complete inundation at plus 1.5 m. London, core financial districts at risk. Tokyo, evacuation of up to 12 million. Amsterdam, reclaimed land returns to the sea. Experts warn of the rise of a new era of climate displacement, with tens of millions forced to move inland, sparking freshwater shortages, food crises, and civil unrest. Media silence. Who's really in control? Why isn't CNN talking about this? Why has the United Nations remained quiet? One possible answer: economic fear. New York is not just a city. It's a global financial powerhouse. Any public acknowledgement of its vulnerability could collapse real estate markets, trigger stock sell-offs, and provoke chaos. But how long can the truth be ignored? And at what cost? Expert voices, realistic fiction for video style. Man scientist Dr. Peter Hall, former NASA climate analyst. I've seen the models. This isn't theory. It's already happening. They're upgrading infrastructure behind closed doors, and the public will only be warned at the last minute. Woman teacher Linda Mars, professor of geopolitics, MIT. We are entering not just a climate crisis, but a collapse of modern geography. Cities will vanish, maps will change, and it starts with New York. Final word. Are you ready? We're not saying a tidal wave will wash over Times Square tomorrow. But if even 30% of this report is true, it represents the most serious existential threat to any major U.S. city in modern history. The authorities are silent. The media looks the other way. And you? Are you still living by the shore? Maybe it's time to ask, why aren't they telling us the truth? And when 2035 comes, who will survive? You, or the government's fear of panic? Push pin subscribe to our channel for more stories they don't want you to hear. Movie camera next episode, Island of Death. Why Hawaii could be evacuated before 2040.